Hey guys, if you haven't already, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel. This is a what if series and I'll be doing more down the road. Plus Ultra. Hey guys, so this is a Dragon Ball SuperHero rewrite. I wanted to change a few things about the movie. I mean, the movie is still great, don't get me wrong, but it's just a few things that I would like to change and change the storyline around and making it better. Of course, every one of you might have a different opinion about the said subject, but I just wanted to make the topic better and just put a character in there which I feel like this character should have just been used instead of going off and just creating a whole brand new character, which is in turn the same character but just with a different name. Put it that much in his second form. But I digress. Let's just go into the story because I got some juicy stuff for y'all and I'm finally finished with it. But anyway, so we're going to start the story off way before Obama even collected the Dragon Balls. So we're going to start off with Magenta, using his technology at the Red Ribbon Army base, basically in that Wakanda, cut off from the world. And he would use the technology that he has to search for the Dragon Balls because his whole plan is to get Cell on board. But before he resurrects Cell, he goes to find Dr. Hito. And he must likely do some stuff, pull some strings and money and everything, bribe, and he gets free early. Instead of being freed from doing his sentence, he would just be freed early from Magenta's influence and stuff like that. So once he get in the car, he'll have the whole conversation that he did in canon, and he would agree. But this time he would tell him that instead of using the old, use the old, like the somatics for Cell's whole process, but we're going to bring the real Cell back. And Dr. Hito would be like, why? Didn't he die? Wasn't he a failure? And this is where we say, yes, he did fail, but this time we can improve him and make him better. We can make him more powerful than he was when he was defeated by the Dragon Team. Basically, Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta. Those are the main targets that they want to basically eliminate from the Earth. Dr. Hito is basically naive. He doesn't know what Magenta's plan really is, because Dr. Hito is more like a superhero. He wants to bring peace to the world and wants to create two superheroes to bring justice, and they have that superhero role. So with that, Dr. Hito would start his work, and then this is where they would go out and they would summon the Dragon Balls, and this is where Shinron would come and ask their wish, and they would revive Cell. And this is where they would tell them that they don't need any more further wishes, and the Dragon Balls would scatter. Now, Cell would appear at the Red Ribbon Army base. And this is when they did it at nighttime, so not to basically get any suspicions from any of the Dragon Team members, so they stayed under the radar. With that being said, Cell is confused. He doesn't know where he is. Well, he does kind of know where he is, but has he just been revived? He looks at the two who just revived him. He can think that just revived him, and he asks who they are. Dr. Hito and Magenta introduces themselves to Cell, and Cell says, so, how about the Dragon Team? Have they been eliminated yet? And Dr. Hito not Dr. Hito, but Dr. Hito is most likely astonished by Cell, but Magenta tells him that the Dragon Team has not been killed or anything like that. They've been on various missions, and that Goku and Vegeta has internally gotten stronger and stronger. And Cell would come to terms with this, saying that I've seen his previous battles, upon with the androids since I was there, and Majin Buu. But as far as anything else, that is all I've seen. And he's even fought the beings, that's all they recorded so far. So Cell would say then, why have you brought me back? Because our plan is to eradicate Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta. But yes, those are the three people that they want to eradicate. And Cell says, what about androids 17 to 18? I have a vendetta out against them too. And most likely Gohan and Goku and Vegeta. But this is where Cell's eyes would just widen from this. And of course I put that whole portrayal in there. This is where Cell's eyes would widen. He would ask them that as he is now, he don't even think that he would even hold a candle to the Dragon Team. And this is where Dr. Hito steps in, and he tells Cell that he can upgrade him and make him better than ever before. He just needs to relax and just sit idly by in a pod where Dr. Hito can just run some tests and everything and upgrade Cell to his most maximum power. And this is where Dr. Hito say, you're already perfect, but we can make you perfect Cell Max. And this is what makes Cell smile. An upgrade from without even training, he can just have an upgrade to basically boost his skills and power. Of course. And Cell's thinking in his head, yes, this is nice. I get to have my revenge. Cell clutches his fist and tells Dr. Hito to go on with the process. He's ready to go on board. So, of course, Cell will get placed in his pod and everything. He would ask questions about the whole thing, but everything in Cell's head is thinking about how he can kill the dragon. Once he gets this power, he's going to create a lot of destruction. I'm talking about a lot of destruction. Cell's ambition and goal right now is to strike fear and to show that he's not playing. Remember that time when Cell came back powered up? And like with his Saiyan cells, when he regenerated and he powered up fully, when he came back, he shot a hole through Trunks' chest. It's going to get dark and then it's going to get light. That's all I'm going to say about this show. Anyway, so let's continue on. Tangent aside. So Cell gets placed in his pod, right? Now, this is where the normal shenanigans happen. And Cell, well, not Cell, but Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 would be created. Now, Gamma 2 would go and attack Piccolo, and Piccolo would then hide somewhere after the whole attack with Gamma 2 thinking that he killed Piccolo. Now, Piccolo would hide, but then he would follow Gamma 2, basically hiding under the radar and keeping his power at a low minimum. Now, once he gets there, he basically jumps a guard and put on his whole uniform and discovers that the Red Ribbon Army is basically still here. He thought they were gone, but no, they're still around. Now, this is where he gets information about stuff like that, and then he gets information that Cell is alive and stuff like that. So this is where he rushes towards Gohan's house, and Gohan is doing his whole usual thing, drawing, and tells Piccolo that he's busy, but Piccolo tells him that he needs to start training and focusing on the Earth more because he doesn't know when a dangerous threat could happen. And Gohan basically tells Piccolo that nothing dangerous has happened before, and if anything happens, his dad and Vegeta can handle it. And this is where Piccolo would tell Gohan that you can't rely on Goku and Vegeta all the time. You need to fight for yourself. You can't... What if they're not here in time to save us? We can't always depend on Goku and Vegeta to come through. So with that, Piccolo would start doing his usual things. And this is where Pan will get kidnapped and go to the Red Ribbon Army base. Now, with that, Gohan would still be in his house, and Piccolo and the guard, well, whatever his name was, would come there and threaten Gohan, with Gohan flicking the gun out of the guy's hand. But the guy, in turn, shows him a video of Pan being held captive. This would piss Gohan off, and he would do the same thing that he did in the movie, powering up and creating a crater under his house, yelling at the man, saying, "What did you do to my daughter?" And the man would scream and tell him that he done nothing. So now we get to the part to where Gohan, Piccolo, and the men is in the ship and they're flying. Of course, Gohan doesn't recognize Piccolo under his disguise, which to Piccolo's shock, he doesn't understand why not. Anyway, so once they get there, Gohan explodes out of the ship and lands on the ground. And this is where he flies towards Pan, but Gamma 2 comes up, well, Gamma 1 comes up and kicks Gohan back down. Now, the whole fight, I can go through all that, like escapade, because everything happens just a normal way. So, upon Gamma 1 and Gamma 2's defeat, this is where Magenta would tell them to release Cell. And Cell would oblige by this. He's at enough power to basically control himself. He's at like 95%. And Dr. Hito says, well, you won't go berserk. You don't want to wait a little longer. And Cell says it's no need. So he awakens, Cell. Basically opens the pot towards Cell. And when he comes out, he's not in his usual green color. Now he has like reddish green, as you can see in the thumbnail, but most likely his hands are not white and his neck is not white. It's more like a green color to it. As when Cell went in, he came out his body was a different color. So with that being said, Cell comes out and he starts to smile at his power. And Then, when he comes out of that crater, he starts to erupt. This huge red geyser just shoots up in the air, and Cell comes out with his arms crossed, looking at the team that's there. It's most likely Piccolo, Gohan. I know Androids 18 and, well, Krillin were there, but Krillin most likely was in the ship with Bulma. So, basically, the rest of the people were there, and Trunks and Goten, but Cell was not playing. Once he seen Trunks again, he thought that was the Trunks from the future, and he shot a beam directly through his heart and through Goten's heart. This is where Gohan and Piccolo will look up to see Cell again. Everyone is shocked that he's still alive. Cell just utters out a laugh. 2 birds down. This would piss Gohan off, and he would transform into his ultimate form and rush at Cell and say, "How are you still alive?" Cell would dodge easily out of Gohan's way, punch him in the stomach with a ferocious attack, and then kick Gohan directly down to the ground. Now, this is where Orange Piccolo would come in and start barraging Cell with multiple blows, but Cell is basically letting him do so as he's trying to get a feel for his power and everything. This is somewhat akin to when Cell first got into his perfect form. He's just basically opening his palms, stretching out his neck, and then he looks towards Piccolo and say, "You'll do for a good warm-up." Then he rushed, almost as if it was fast. Piccolo didn't even see it coming. He punched Piccolo so hard in the stomach that Piccolo coughs up blood. Then Cell elbows him directly in the face and then knees him directly in the jaw. Grab Piccolo by his antenna and then start repeatedly kneeing him in the face. Orange Piccolo then punched Cell directly in the jaw, sending him away from him, but Cell didn't feel the brunt of that attack, but he smiled at it and then shoots a blast straight at Piccolo and shooting him directly out of the sky. Now, Piccolo's clothes are charred and he's battle damaged, but he gets back up and runs at Cell, and the both of them gets into a heated battle with each other, but it's more of a one-sided battle, not much of a heated battle. It's just that Cell's just using Piccolo for a stepping stone. So anyway, Piccolo is getting beat down. Gohan joins back in, but mostly everyone is joining back in. And to Gohan's shock and anger, 2 people just died. Goten and Trunks just got killed in front of him. And this pissed Gohan off, but he's more shocked that Cell is alive. And Cell then tells Gohan the Dragon Balls are a weapon of good and a weapon of evil. I believe that the Dragon Balls are used for 2 different purposes, and they are dangerous in that fact. Now, this is where Cell just erupts in ki, and then his spots on his body starts to glow, and then they shoot out lasers all over the area. And these lasers do some damage, though. And one of them pierces through Android 18's leg. And this is where Cell looks back and he says, "Ah! 18, I didn't know you were here. I didn't notice you because you were a weakling." Cell would rush at 18 and then start pelting her with a barrage of blows, punching her in the stomach, kicking her in the neck, and then grabbing her by her leg and just slamming her into the ground repeatedly. This is where, Krillin would come out and throw a Kienzan at Cell, to which Cell would dodge easily, and he would look at Krillin and then blast him away. Literally, Cell would put every last ounce of power into this attack and literally destroy Krillin. Now, Gohan is seeing this. So many people is dying around him. And this is where Cell would grab Gohan and literally punch him directly in the chest, making Gohan fall to his knees, clutching, basically on the verge of blacking out. Now, Cell says, "Stand by. I don't need you getting angry again. I have some business to take care of." This is where Cell would rush at the ship where Bulma was in, basically instant transmission in there, and say, "Ta-ta," explode the ship. Basically, Bulma's dead now. Sad. Cell would then search out for a signature of familiar energy. He's trying to find out where Chi-Chi is, and thing is, he locates her. And Cell does the same thing, but only horrific. He basically shoots his hand straight through Chi-Chi's heart, killing her instantly. She drops dead on the ground. And Cell is looking at his hand with blood dripping from it as he says, "My revenge is absolute." He goes back to the field, and this is where Cell touches his head as he has his power radiating over him. And he tells them that, "I've managed to kill some of the people that Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan learned to love. Piccolo would be shocked by this, but Cell he's not even remorseful. Cell says, "You think I'm here to play games? I want revenge, and I'm going to do it in the least more crucial way." Cell powers up, but he's not showing all of his power yet. He then rushes at Pan, and then in a huge motion, Piccolo came and grabbed Cell and threw him to the ground hard, telling Pan to go hide somewhere and basically hide her key, because if you don't, you're going to be killed. Cell is a monster, and more of a monster than he ever was before. Cell stands back up and brushes himself off and looks at Piccolo and says, "Aye, so you're still standing after all that? Well, you won't be after this." Cell then teleports behind Piccolo and knees him in the back. This knee basically sent a shockwave through Piccolo's body, as he felt every last one of his bones in his body shake from that attack. Cell then spins around and kicks Piccolo directly in his side, breaking 2 ribs, and then he grabs Piccolo by his head and then knees him in the back of the head. Then Cell shoots a blast at Piccolo, shooting him straight towards Gohan, to which Gohan gets back off the ground, clutching his chest. Cell then teleports all around the area, but this is where Android 17 comes in with a kick and kicks Cell directly in the face. Now this does some damage, but not as much as you think it does, but it still does some damage. But so this is where Gohan gets up and he clutches his chest, but then he basically revigorates himself, and him and 17 go in on the assault, with 18 joining in tow. Even though she's battle damaged and has basically a shot through her leg, she's trying her best, and she's crying with tears coming out of her eyes, saying that Cell killed Krillin. She's sad by this and she can't focus, to which Cell says, "All these tears, get away from me, you're annoying." And he backhands 18 through multiple buildings. Like, he slaps 18 and backhands her, I say backhand too many times, through multiple buildings, and then she ends up crashing into a wall. Android 17 yells out, "18!" And he rushes at Cell, delivering multiple blows, but Cell catches Android 17's fist and then breaks his arm, and then grabs him by the shirt and then starts rapidly punching 17 in the face over and over and over and over again, so 17 just bursts off him and starts shooting at Cell with multiple ki blasts. Piccolo and Gohan go up and start punching at Cell, and all 3 of them are attacking him, but simultaneously. This is where Cell grabs Piccolo's fist and Android 17 fist, and as Gohan was getting ready to come in, he kicks Gohan in the face and it shoots him back towards the ground. And this is where Gohan would stand back up and he would say that this is enough. And Cell would say, so are you gonna power up like you did when you were a kid? Funny, this time I don't think a simple power up is gonna be enough. So Cell then blasts both Piccolo and Android 17 away. And then Gohan just basically gets angry as he's seeing all his friends just fall before him. Even his brother, even this monster just killed his mother and Bulma. All this anger is wellowing up inside Gohan, and he transforms into his beast form. And Piccolo notes this and he says, "Thank God, you finally transformed." And Cell just crosses his arms. He senses Gohan's power, but Cell hasn't really been showing his full power yet. Mostly, he's only been using at least 45%. Now, Cell tells Gohan to come at him with everything he has, and Gohan does. Him and Gohan get into a heated, destructive battle, flying all over the city with the Dragon Team following in tow. So, most likely, Piccolo and 17 are still following him, with Android 18 coming in tow too, but she's still damaged, though. She's barely, I'm not saying barely hanging, but the girl is damaged, though. So, they all are starting to fight Piccolo, and this is where Cell then starts to basically unleash his power and power up even more. Now, this would make Goku and Vegeta stop in their tracks, as when they sense this, before they're throwing another punch at each other, they say, "What's going on?" Whis then looks at his staff, because he was getting notices from his staff and everything, and he takes a look at it, but then he gets a look on his face and say, "Oh my, this is not good." And Goku and Vegeta would be like, "What? What's going on?" And this is where Whis would say, "So, I believe, do you guys know of a villain named Cell?" And Vegeta and Goku would be shocked, and they would say, "What? Cell? He's back?" "Yes, he's back, and he's causing a lot of mayhem, a lot of destructive mayhem. And I'm sad to say is that he managed to kill Goten, Well, not Gohan, damn. Goten, Trunks, Chi-Chi, Krillin, and Bulma. This would leave Goku and Vegeta shocked, saddened, and mad at the same time, to which Goku would just touch on Vegeta's shoulder and teleport right where Earth is, sensing the energy of Gohan and getting there fast. They wouldn't waste any time, both going into Super Saiyan Blue and charging right at Cell. They already heard and they already want him dead. They basically want to get rid of him as fast as possible. And if the Dragon Balls can resurrect, they will try to fix everything that Cell has done. And this would make Cell ecstatic right now. Goku and Vegeta, my revenge can now be complete. Now, this is where Cell would then start powering up to his maximum, unleashing even more monstrous power. And he would start to fight every last one of them fast and ferociously. Now, Goku and Vegeta, with there being some help, there being a lot of help, helping Gohan out a lot. But Cell is a beast right now. And they're looking at him. Gohan then starts to power up in his beast transformation, with Goku noticing that he has a new form, with even Vegeta stating that he has a new form. Now, Vegeta, of course, would transform into not Ultra Ego, but Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, and Goku would transform into Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20. And they all would rush at Cell, and it would be a huge climactic battle with them flying all over the city, all over the world, just basically fighting each other, teleporting all over the area. Now, Vegeta would come in with a Big Bang attack and try to shoot it at Cell, to which Cell would knock away, but Goku would be right in front of him and punch Cell directly in the face, with Gohan kicking Cell directly in his side, and Vegeta coming in with a hammer fist and shooting Cell directly towards the ground. Cell would be on the ground, but he would be smiling as he doesn't care about the damage that he receives. He then rushes back at Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta and hits them all with multiple barrages of attacks. Now, it would shoot all three of them back towards the ground, and they would get up, and Cell would then just float down to the ground with blood trickling out of his mouth, but he just has a smug look on his face, as if he's confident that he knows he's going to win this battle. He starts to berate them and tells them that what happened last time won't happen again, and you're not going to get so lucky, son of Goku. And this is where he would rush at Goku and start barraging him with so many hard strikes, to which Vegeta would come in and try to get Cell off of him, but then Cell would just shoot Vegeta with so many barrage of blasts, basically like a machine gun of ki blasts hitting Vegeta. Gohan would come in and hit Cell with a Masenko and shoot him back, to which Goku and Vegeta would regroup with each other. Now, this is where Cell says, this has been fun, but Android 17 comes out of nowhere and then elbows Cell directly in the jaw, and then Orange Piccolo comes in and hits him directly in the stomach. Now, Cell then looks up and says, you pests just don't know when to stay down. He shoots a beam straight through Piccolo's chest, and then he grabs 17 by the hair, and then he basically punches 17 through the stomach, making him cough up blood. Now, he throws 17 aside, and he tells him, don't stand in my way again. You should be dead after an attack like that. Now, this is where he looks at the Dragon Team, and they're all rushing him fast. Gohan, Goku, 18 is back, and Vegeta. They're all rushing at Cell and hitting him with multiple barrages. And Cell just starts to glow and then shoot off blasts everywhere, hitting them all and shooting them back. Then Cell just starts to basically kick every last one of their, basically just beating them down. Everything seems hopeless. Even Gohan's new transformation, it seems like it's not enough to basically step over Cell. Cell is more of a monster, and Gohan is knowing this. He stands back up, and this is where Cell just basically initiates his name. I was perfect before, but now I'm perfect Cell Max. That's what I'm going to call myself. I even evolved so much that I don't even think a candle you two could burn out. And Cell smiles as he's looking at the team, all battered and bruised. Goku stands back up, and he has a calm look about himself. Of course, Gohan does too. And of course, Vegeta. Android 18 is not getting up no more. She can barely move at this point. But the three of them just basically stand up simultaneously as they have shadows covering their eyes. Goku utilizes his Ultra Instinct power, basically going into Bastard Ultra Instinct. And Cell would say, I haven't seen that form before, and that's surprising. I can't feel anything from it. Vegeta would use a different transformation. Now, I'm not going to say he doesn't have the same transformation as earlier, like, basically with Ultra Ego, so it's going to be some more of, like, Super Saiyan Blue, like, when he has, like, a dark, like, aura around himself, it's going to be more keen to that. So it's going to be, like, an evolution above Super Saiyan Blue evolution, and then it's going to take more of a darkish aura around him, and his hair is going to take more of a darkish tint of blue. So it's going to be more of an evolved form of Super Saiyan Blue evolution. And of course, Gohan would power up even further. Now, this is where they would all rush at Cell and then start delivering multiple blows to the tyrant, punching him in the stomach, kicking him in the face, and then slamming him to the ground, which Goku would teleport right in front of him and start hitting him with air fists. This is where Gohan would be right above Cell and then do a drop kick, landing directly in Cell's stomach. Cell would grab Gohan's leg, but Vegeta would be right there and then fling Cell right off Gohan and then appear right behind Cell and knee him directly in the back, sending shockwaves through Cell's body. And this was the same attack that he did to Piccolo. Now, over and over and over and over and over and over again, Cell would get pelted with a blast from Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta, and then he would get hit with a barrage of punches, strikes, and even Goku would then target one of his vital points, basically just using a 1-inch punch on his chest and hitting him directly in the chest, with Vegeta coming in and then neck chopping Cell directly in his neck, basically punching him directly in the neck. And Gohan would come in and grab Cell directly by his crown and start kneeing him in the face repeatedly. Now, Cell would get mad and burst off his ki to get all of them off of him. And this is where he tells them that he would destroy this whole planet. He doesn't care about the humans on this world, this pathetic world. He starts shooting off and letting off ki everywhere. And this is where Goku is dodging. Goku and Vegeta and Gohan, they're both dodging all the blasts that are coming at them. And then Gohan teleports right behind Cell. Cell says, "What?" And he punches Cell directly in the back of the head, shooting him towards the ground. Now, Cell gets back up and he says this is not over. Cell then starts to get ferocious with his ki attacks. He's starting to get angry and angry. But this is where Cell starts to manipulate his body and starts to transform and growing bigger and bigger and bigger, then representing the part to where he turns into the giant form of his counterpart, his movie counterpart. So yeah, I implemented that. So now Cell is giant. And this is where Dente would have had a role in it. He came in to heal Piccolo. Now, when Piccolo gets back up, Piccolo goes into his giant form, going right back into the battle. He heals Piccolo, and then he heals Android 17 and 18. So they all went back into the battle to fight Cell. Now, he tells them that don't worry, we gathered the Dragon Balls again, and we basically wished everyone back that Cell has killed, and we're waiting for the next wish to basically restore the Earth. And we told Shenron to be on standby, and Shenron agreed. So while they're fighting Cell, Cell is still conscious, but he's just in his giant form. And this is where Piccolo comes out of nowhere and punches Cell directly in the face. And Cell just looks at Piccolo and says, "How are you still alive?" And he punches Piccolo in the stomach, making him cough up blood, and kicks him away. Now all of them starts to team up on Cell, basically battling him, punching him in his side, basically using his blind spots. But this Cell is fast as hell, so they're basically using everything they can to basically counterattack him, fight him, and everything. So with that, this is where Piccolo would start to wrap up with Cell, and then Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Trunks, Goten, 18, 17, Krillin. They would all get into a unison stance with each other, and they would start to power up. Krillin, most of them would do a Kamehameha. Android 17 and 18 would do their own respective blast. Gohan would start to charge up on Makanko Sapo. And Vegeta would do like a final flash. Now, this is where the final flash would take on more of a darkish blue, yellowish type of color. And more of like a greenish color too much. Like not like dark green or something like that, but it's more like turquoise, put it that way. And they would all shoot their blast directly at Cell. This is where Piccolo would jump off Cell. Cell kicked him off of him, but Piccolo in return counterattacked and kicked Cell directly into the air. And they would then shoot their blast, and Cell would be engulfed by the blast. But he would start to hold it back and charge his own blast, shooting it back towards the ground. Now, you would thought it would have golfed him, but nah, Cell is holding this blast back, and he's even powering up even further. Now, this is where they start to basically emanate more and more power, and basically overwhelming Cell. With Ultra Instinct Goku there, and Vegeta in his new transformation, and Gohan in his beast form, Cell basically is only pushing the blast back, but that's it. It gets basically pushed right back at Cell, and then he gets overwhelmed, and then gets destroyed. Cell gets eradicated, literally. They made sure they erased every cell of him. And then, after everything's cleared off, after everything's done and settled, they wish everyone back to life that Cell has killed and destroyed. And this is where Goku would come to the idea that the Red Ribbon Army, even Vegeta would say the same thing, that they don't no longer need to be alive. Vegeta was ready to destroy the city for what they did to his wife because he still haven't got over that. They managed to bring back some kind of monster, this monster, and it killed his wife. So he's basically ready to blow up this whole city, basically annihilate the whole city and get it out the picture. Dr. Hito pleads with them and says that he didn't know Magenta's problem, his problems was to basically kill everybody. He wanted to be a hero. He didn't want to cause destruction or ruin people's lives. He even told Magenta that because when Dr. Hito basically came out to see what all was going on, he realized that Cell is a monster. He really is a monster, and it was nothing that he can do. Magenta would be ecstatic by this, and they wouldn't have that whole fight like they did in canon. So Magenta would be just happy by this, but he would be basically scared now that the Dragon Team managed to defeat Cell. And they would be like, how did this happen again? So this is where Gohan would say that he believes that Dr. Hito is good, while that Magenta guy, he's more likely evil. They tell them just to basically arrest all the Red Ribbon Army soldiers, and Vegeta's more likely on the back foot by this, but he obliges because, he really wants to destroy the whole base to basically get them out of the picture, but he obliges to let them get arrested, and Dr. Hito says that he wants to go work at Capsule Corp to basically repent for his said actions because he feels real bad that it led to this when he was only trying to be a superhero, just kind of went down the wrong path and trusted the wrong person. Yeah, so with that, everything plays out normally, and of course Goku and Vegeta would test out Gohan's new power. Piccolo Gohan would go against Goku and Vegeta, and they would test out each other's new power and strength and abilities. And of course, yeah, everything would say play normal. I ain't gonna say who won or who didn't win, but anyway, with all that being said, that's the end of the movie. So I wish I came out with this a lot sooner, but yeah, that's how my interpretation of this said story would go. I see Cell when he came back. If they was to get the Dragon Balls, revive Cell, Dr. Hito uses his technology to improve upon Cell, making Perfect Cell Max. I believe that Cell, with his intellect, would not hold back. He would not take any captives. He would just go all out, killing people that got in his way, attacking people brutally, basically initiating fear and discomfort, basically bringing tears to some people's eyes. But I digress. That was basically my interpretation and my rewrite of what if Dragon Ball Super had a rewrite, and if Dragon Ball Superhero had a rewrite. But anyway, without any further ado, you guys have a good day, a good night, and plus ultra. Good night, guys.